What it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy, Silly Sell, and we back in here for another episode of Juice City Legends. If you have not, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Hey, we about to get into one today, man. One of my favorite rappers of all time, man. What y'all know about that boy? Hey, 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 okay. OJ the Juiceman. That's right, that's right. I said OJ the Juiceman. Now, if you grew up in my era, in the mid-2000s, around 2006, 2007, 2008, you know about Juiceman. You know about Juiceman, they'd come up with Gucci Man. You know what I mean? Everybody know Juice had to call the ad-libs. Juice used to talk that talk. Juice was for the trappers, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't no trapper, man, you probably ain't gonna like Juice, man. If you ain't turned up, if you don't like to pop your ish, you probably not gonna like Juice, this Juiceman documentary we about to give you. But you know what I'm saying? We gotta show love to Juiceman, man. Juiceman, you definitely one of the pioneers. We don't hear you getting your recognition. So that's what we gonna do at Juice City Legends, man. Let's get it. All right. OJ the Juiceman grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. He was raised on the east side of Atlanta, where he grew up hustling, picking up cans, knocking on the neighbor's door to take the trash out. You know, typical things that young boys do in the neighborhood to make money. But OJ will have a best friend that he grew up with since the age of 3, none other than the legendary Gucci Mane LaFleur. Now, OJ and Gucci Mane, they've been friends since they was young kids or whatever. They want to just go all the way back to kindergarten. So, quite naturally, I'm sure everybody know Gucci Mane is a legend. So, Gucci Mane would be one of OJ's introduction to the rap game. Now, initially, Juiceman wasn't interested in the rap game. Juiceman was always a trapper that had money and liked to floss, liked to flex on his cars, but most likely, he liked to put on for his hood, Boulder Crest. His childhood friend, Gucci Mane, was always into music. And like I said, Gucci Mane would introduce OJ to the rap game back when Gucci Mane did a remix to the franchise boys White Tee, remixing it, calling it Black Tee. Because on the east side of Atlanta, they wore black tees. They went by the Ashy T game. Now, you know about them Ashy Tees, you know what I know about. But like I said, OJ wasn't really into the rap game. His friend Gucci Mane was into the rap. So OJ, he was in the streets, trapping, doing what he was doing, getting in trouble or whatever. So OJ ended up having to go sit down and go to boot camp for a while. And while OJ was serving his time, going to boot camp, his friend Gucci Mane, on the other hand, was blowing up. OJ was locked up. His friend Gucci Mane released his first album, Trap House, a Southern classic. Now, when OJ got out of jail, his sister told him, hey, check out this CD. OJ got the CD, and he realized it was Gucci Mane. He was like, man, bro, turning up, man. This man about to make it, man. You know what I'm saying? If Gucci can make it, and we come from the same background, I know I can make it. So with that idea right there, OJ would begin his musical journey. Now, when I first heard of OJ the Juiceman, he was with a underground label by the name of Never Again Records. One of the first songs that I remember from OJ is a song called Everything on Me. Now, at this time, OJ was going by Goldmouth. Yes, Goldmouth, because OJ had like 8 golds in his mouth, real light-skinned dude, so Goldmouth fit him. OJ would receive a minor buzz around Atlanta, you know what I mean? But he really didn't make no noise or whatever, but he was building a foundation. He was getting his feet wet. finding his voice. Now, the moment that I think OJ blew up is when OJ appeared on Gucci Mane's documentary, Hood Affairs. Now, if you know anything about Gucci Mane in the 2000s, Gucci used to drop a lot of DVDs, and he had that game on lock. So anybody that was on there with him kind of blew up. But it was a freestyle that became legendary when Gucci Mane was on there freestyling. Rest in peace, Shawty Low, he was in the background. Mike Will made it. It was a lot of stars that weren't stars at the time in that background. And out of nowhere, this little light-skinned dude with these gold teeth, looking like he was fresh off of busting one of them things down, just walk on the scene, start freestyling, and just kill it. You know what I'm saying? Everything he was saying in his lyrics just seemed so authentic, and the way he spit it, the way he looked in that camera, you knew, oh, whoever this dude right here is, man, he finna blow, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, around that time, it seemed like anything that was getting close to Gucci Mane was blowing up. And OJ, it seemed like he was next. The song that would put OJ on the map was a song that was featured on that same DVD, Hood Affairs, with Gucci Mane, was a song called Vet Passed By. Vet Passed By, it was produced by Zaytoven, one of Gucci Mane's in-house producers. He also had a relationship with OJ as well. Now, on this song right here, was the first time the world heard OJ the Juiceman do his signature trademark ad-libs. Hey, okay. And it was something about this song, man. Juiceman just fit in just perfect on this song. Juiceman wasn't trying to be too lyrical. Juiceman, as the people say now, he understood the assignment. Juiceman came on there and talked that talk. It was a different side of Atlanta. We had already knew Juiceman was legit because we saw him on the come up, and he just fit right in perfect with Gucci Mane on Orthodox Style trap stories or whatever. So, man, Juiceman came on that thing and snapped, man. One of my favorite lines when he told that dude, coming cold, hey, this ain't what you want. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He said, I got the bird flu. You got the coming cold, man. You know what I'm saying? That was just a cold line to me. But anyway, after Vet Passed By, it was only a matter of time for OJ the Juiceman would blow up. After being featured on Vet Passed By, Juiceman's name was buzzing all over the South. So he took a page from his partner Gucci Mane and started flooding the streets with mixtapes. I can't remember which tape came out first, but I know around that time, OJ, he had started being on a lot of mixtapes or whatever. Because that was the blueprint Gucci Mane that laid out. Where you blow up off doing a lot of mixtapes, putting a lot of product out there, and getting your money off of the shows. And Juiceman fit right in with it. Because like I say, when people came out to see him, he would fly, he talked that talk. He was just the perfect rapper for that time in 2008, during the trap era. Now, like I said, OJ, he was a certified trapper. So even though he was getting buzz in the rap game, doing shows or whatever, he hadn't signed a deal. He was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But some tragic events would lead him to change his mind. Right around the time OJ was beginning to blow up, OJ would find out that he was a diabetic. And this would put OJ in the hospital on his deathbed. And him almost dying made him realize he wouldn't be here forever. Around that time, Atlanta, New York-based Queen Pen, Deb Anthony, had just started a company called Ms. A Entertainment. And Ms. A, they had ties to Gucci Mane. Actually, this is Waka Flocka's mom. So she had a connection to Juiceman being around Gucci. And she came to Juice and told him, man, hey, man, OJ, you need to go and let me sign you, man. I can take you to these white people. I can get you out the streets, man. You're a diabetic. You know what I mean? You need to really think about this. I can change your life, OJ. All you got to do is sign these papers, you know. And OJ, he thought about it, you know what I mean? But he really didn't know too much about the rap game because, like I said, he was getting so much money in the streets, he didn't know what to do. Not even 2 weeks after OJ got out of the hospital from complications with his diabetes, OJ was back in his neighborhood in the Sun Valley apartments when he was approached by a gunman that tried to rob OJ. The guy didn't get OJ. He didn't take anything from OJ, but what he did do was shoot OJ. OJ was shot 8 times in his lower body. Now, like I said, OJ had just got out of the hospital from diabetic complications. And him getting shot 8 times, that almost took his life. So, while OJ was in the hospital on his deathbed, 2 weeks from finding out he had diabetes to later on be shot 8 times, he would receive a visit from none other than Deb Anthony. Now, this time when she came to OJ, she was like, come on, OJ, man. Baby, you gonna die in these streets. Let me get you out the streets. I promise you, I can take you to these white people. I know in New York, I'm plugged in. You know what I mean? You got a buzz. I promise. I can change your life, OJ. Just let me get you out the streets. All you got to do is sign this paper. OJ, being that, you know what I'm saying, he was going through it a lot around this time or whatever. Finding out he was diabetic, then being shot 8 times. You know what I mean? He had complications from this shooting or whatever. And it put him in a bad spot. So OJ made a move that he would regret for the rest of his life. With no lawyer, with no type of legal representation, OJ was signed with Ms. A Entertainment, and the rest is history. Now, at the time, this made perfect sense because, like I said, Ms. A Entertainment was on fire at the time. They had Gucci Mane LaFleur. You know what I mean? You had Zaytoven producing all the beats. You had connections from New York, Atlanta. You know what I mean? And OJ was hot in fish grease at the time. So one of the first songs he dropped was a song called I'm Getting Money. Now, I'm Getting Money, that was a cool, nice trap song, a nice introduction to the word from OJ. You know what I mean? It had that laid-back flavor on there. It let OJ pop his ish on there. You know what I mean? Talk is talk. And, you know, like I say, OJ, he was already popping around that time. So when I'm Getting Money came out, you know what I mean? It did what it was supposed to do. But the song that would catapult OJ the Juiceman into superstardom and put him down in trap history as one of the baddest dudes to ever come out of the East Atlanta and talk that trap talk was a song he did with his homeboy, Gucci Mane LaFleur. And if you're an OJ the Juice fan, you know what song I'm talking about. Hey, quarter pound, half a pound, whole pound, okay. Young Juice Man, serving major weight, yeah. I mean, when Quarter Brick came out, when I tell you this was a monumental time, man, it wasn't nothing in the country messing with Juice Man at that time. I don't care what nobody tell you. If you was in them streets from 2008 to 2009, when Juice Man and Gucci Man was on their run, it wasn't nothing messing with Gucci Man and Juice. First of all, Zaytoven produced the song, just like a lot of them. They had cameos from Nicki Minaj and people like that in the video before people ever heard of Nicki Minaj. But anyway, it was a classic song from Juice Man and Gucci Man. It had that bass line in there. Doom, 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 doom. You had slappers in your trunk, you were beating the block down and you were playing that OJ around that time, man. It's a classic. Quarter Brick, Half a Brick, that would be OJ's biggest song to this date. I mean, like I say, it was a monumental time when it came on. Around this time, everybody had to get in line and call up OJ. Now, it was some confusion because people thought OJ was signed to Gucci Mane, but actually, they were just homeboys. OJ had his own label, 32 Entertainment, which he should have pushed, but he also had the contract with Ms. A Entertainment, like I was saying. And like I was saying, around this time, man, OJ was on fire, man. He was getting featured from everybody, man. You know what I mean? He blew up. I mean, OJ was the guy, 2008. After the success of Quarter Brick, it was nothing else to do but for OJ to drop his major release. OJ's first major album release was an album by the name of The Other Side of the Trap. It was distributed by Warner Brothers Music, Ms. A Entertainment. And around this time, OJ was getting featured from everybody, from Jadakiss to Swiss Beats to R. Kelly. Some of everybody wanted to work with OJ the Juiceman. He had the flavor at the time. He was Atlanta's it guy around that time. And due to the fact, like I say, he was tied in with Gucci Mane, they had so much product on the streets. His album wasn't even his hardest music or whatever. If you was a real OJ fan, you were listening to East Atlanta and Alaska and all that type of stuff right there, Bolden Crest Day and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? That was his jams. Some of my favorite songs from OJ is songs like Copper Chicken. You know what I mean? Copper Chicken, they would be a hit right now if he dropped it. You know what I mean? Songs like Kush Got Me Faded. Kush Got Me Faded, that's one of them highway songs, man. You light you one of them things up, man, get on the slab and just ride. Like I said, OJ, he understood the assignment. OJ wasn't trying to be super lyrical. He had his own lane, the trap lane. Nobody did ad-lib like OJ. Nobody swag like OJ. You know what I mean? And he just had a lane. You know what I'm saying? He had another song, I be working, I be twerking, I be boom, and I be twerking. You know, I be working. That was one of OJ's classics. You know what I mean? It might sound simple to one of you backpack East Coast hip-hoppers, but OJ the Juiceman, he made music for the trappers. And we had something to ride to with OJ. You know what I mean? He had a lot of underground slappers that, you know what I'm saying, y'all just got to go check out, man. I said 2009, 2010, that would be an important year for OJ. You know what I mean? That was on top of the rap world in Atlanta. So if you know anything about that time, you know it was some beef going on too. OJ always stated that he had nothing to do with Jeezy and Gucci Mane beef. But on Jeezy's album, The Inspiration that he dropped in 2009, which is a classic, he had a mixtape he had out at the same time where he had a track called Kobe LeBron. Now on this tape right here, Jeezy would take shots at Gucci Mane, calling him slow, and he would also take shots at Juiceman, saying that he got the juice, man. You know what I mean? It was kind of corny or whatever, but OJ, he ain't paid no mind to it. He never looked at Jeezy like a threat. Around this time, it was a lot of hate towards Southern artists coming from New York or whatever. A lot of people from New York, they were feeling like the South had messed up the hip-hop game. They didn't like ringtone music. They didn't like snap music. They basically didn't like nothing that wasn't coming from the South Bronx. So OJ the Juiceman was booked at a show at the House of Blues in New York City where he was infamously booed off the stage, man. Them people called him all the way up there just to boo him, man. New York for you. Also, around this time, OJ was beginning to experience, minor altercations on the road or whatever, because he was signed to Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane talks a lot of trash, you know what I mean? So a lot came with that. OJ, he was more laid back and player, a trapper, but he was street with it. But anyway, in one of his shows in Ohio, a couple guys got mad, wanted to show Juice and them that they were getting money. And they started shooting in the club, man. They shot at the man in the club. A little incident popped off. OJ had to defend himself. You know what I mean? It was getting crazy out there. And at the same time, there's some drama going on in Atlanta with OJ record label, Ms. A Entertainment. Now this right here, this about to get interesting right here. What will happen next? So remember early in the story, I was telling you about when OJ signed this deal. Well, basically, OJ was on his deathbed. He was in distress at the moment. So, Deb Anthony, she came to OJ without the lawyer. You know what I mean? In a time where OJ was in distress, had been shot, had been in the hospital for diabetes. So he signed a contract, just basically trying to get up out of the streets. Now, OJ, he got to be a man to take this car to chin for the mistake that he made. But he made a mistake in signing that contract without legal presentation. And in the contract, once he found out or whatever, he didn't own any of his masters. He didn't get the front end on any of his shows he did. He found out he was getting screwed. And the reason they screwed OJ is because he came in the game as a trapper. He already had money, already had jewelry, cars, all that type of stuff. So he didn't pay attention to his contract and, you know what I mean, his album sales. He just didn't pay attention to what was going on, and he was took advantage of. So when he found out about it, he went to Deb Anthony and asked her, could he be released from the contract? And when I tell you this is one of the worst contracts in history, it almost broke my heart when I found this out. But Deb Anthony basically told OJ the Juiceman, it's two contracts, a contract to get with me and a contract to get away from me. In this contract, she had complete control over all his masters. OJ and his family cannot file to get his masters back until 10 years after his natural death. Do you hear me? This man got to be dead for 10 years for his family to even start the process of getting his master back. Now, if that's not a slave contract, I don't know what it is, man. Now, I don't want to say nothing disrespectful about Miss Deb because she's a black lady and she's in a place of power and she has accomplished a lot. But you know what I mean? Rumors have been said that she's, you know, snake. You know what I mean? She's a sneaky, and she admitted that OJ got the bad end of the stick on this, and it wasn't right. Of course, we know what would happen after. Juiceman would go on his infamous Twitter rant where he basically spazzed out on the whole industry when he dissed Yo Gotti, T.I., Young Jeezy, Drake, Rick Ross, anybody. He went off on everybody. And what he also said, he went off on Deb Anthony because he went off on Waka Flocka. It was a bad day. It was a day when bricksquad 1017 broke up, man. It was like the Hot Boys breaking up, man. I mean, it was messed up, man. And Gucci went off. But he went at Deb Anthony, talking about how she stole from him, how she took advantage of him. And he also put it out there, why did you leave my boy Juice at the Texaco? You know what I mean? Letting it be known that she had screwed over Juiceman, and Juiceman was back in the hood trapping. After all he had accomplished, basically Juice really was the one that turned Miss A Entertainment up. Because Gucci had already had his start with Big Cat and everybody. But OJ the Juiceman was the foundation for Miss A Entertainment. And it hasn't been the same since Juiceman left. Overall, OJ Juiceman, you're an Atlanta legend, man. You know what I'm saying? You help pioneer that trap sound. When they talk about Gucci, they got to automatically bring up Juiceman. Like I said, you was in them streets around that time, man. You know Juiceman, them, they had something special going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to always jam OJ the Juiceman. A lot of the new rappers, from the Key Glocks to the Lil Migos, Rollo and them, all of them pay respect to OJ the Juiceman because they know Juice was a pioneer in the trap game, man. He lived what he talked about. He had fun. He brought something to the game. Him and Gucci, they still tight to this day. You know what I mean? When Gucci got out of jail in 2014, I want to say, the first thing he did was put OJ on the tape, you know what I mean? He let it be known. He ain't signed OJ because OJ was his own boss. You know what I mean? So, like I say, man, OJ, man, I'm going to always bump Juice, man. Me and my guys, it right there just hold a special place in my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, we just want to give A shout out to legends while they still here, man. We don't want to wait till nobody pass to tell them that they was that dude, man. OJ, you was that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I heard some of your new music. Hey, man, all you got to do is drop, man. I promise the fans waiting on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody like the Juiceman, man. Hey, man, shout out to everybody for tuning in, man. This is another episode of Juice City Legends. And we out. Peace.